My girlfriend admitted she cheated. I needed a real man, she smirked. My friends took her side. I just smiled, took my keys, and left. This morning, my phone blew up with 32 missed calls. My girlfriend came clean. She told me she cheated. She looked me right in the eye and smirked as she said, I needed a real man. And the worst part? My own friends actually took her side. I didn't say a word. Just grabbed my keys, flashed a calm smile, and walked out the door. Then this morning, my phone lit up like a Christmas tree, 32 missed calls. Looking back now, I guess I should have seen it coming. The clues were there, scattered throughout the last stretch of our relationship like little warnings I chose to ignore. But when you've been with someone for 3 years, you start giving them the benefit of the doubt, even when you shouldn't. Or at least, that's the excuse I kept feeding myself. It started off small. Vanessa began staying late at work more often, not exactly weird during peak seasons, so I brushed it off. But then there was this new perfume I'd never smelled before, unfamiliar clothes showing up in our closet, and suddenly her phone was like a lifeline, never out of reach, always locked, always private. Now, I've never been the jealous type. Not really. But something in my gut told me something wasn't right. She started pulling away when I'd come up behind her for a hug while she was texting. She'd duck out of the room to take phone calls, always saying they were about work. Then came the non-stop girls' nights, with friends I'd never even heard of before. Last Tuesday, I was folding laundry when her phone lit up on the coffee table. A preview from someone named Derek flashed across the screen. Miss you already? And the message after that started with, last night was... But the rest got cut off. My stomach dropped. I didn't want to be that guy, snooping through my girlfriend's phone like some paranoid creep. But it felt like the universe was practically screaming at me to open my eyes. So when she got home that night, I decided I wasn't going to dance around it anymore. She was in the kitchen, blending a smoothie like it was just another regular night. I leaned against the doorframe, watching her. The blender finally stopped, and I asked, Who's Derek? Her reaction was instant, shoulders tensed up, but then she surprised me. She smiled. Not the warm smile I used to know. This one was sharp, cold, like she was proud of herself. Wondered when you'd figure it out, Ethan, she said, casually sipping her drink. Derek's my boss. Then, with zero shame in her voice, she dropped it. And yeah, I've been sleeping with him for a couple months now. It hit me like a punch. She said it like she was talking about the weather. No guilt. No apology. Just smug satisfaction. I needed a real man, she added, that same smirk creeping back. Someone who goes after what he wants. Not someone who wastes weekends playing video games with Tyler or watching dumb movies. I stood there stunned. 3 years together, and that's what she thought of me? But buried under the shock, something else began to surface, not anger, but clarity. So I asked, Does Maya know? She was the mutual friend who introduced us. Vanessa laughed. She's known for weeks. Most of our friends do. They get it. Derek's got a future. You've got potential and excuses. That part cut deeper than the cheating. These were people we spent holidays with, shared birthdays, had over for dinners, and they'd all been watching this unfold, maybe even joking about it behind my back. I grabbed my phone and opened our group chat with Tyler and Maya. Typed out one simple question. You all knew? Tyler was quick to respond. Bro, you're awesome, but Vanessa deserves someone more stable. Don't take it personally. Maya chimed in too, saying, We didn't want to hurt you. Maybe this is the wake-up call you needed. I looked up from my screen, and there was Vanessa, just standing there, still smirking. She was expecting a meltdown. Wanted it, even. A tantrum she could gossip about later, poor, pathetic Ethan losing his cool. But I didn't give her the satisfaction. I smiled instead. A real, honest smile. One that clearly threw her off. Without a single word, I walked to the bedroom, grabbed my go bag, always had one packed for spontaneous weekend trips, picked up my laptop and car keys, and headed for the door. When I walked past her in the kitchen again, her smirk had started to fade. Where are you going? She demanded. Out, I said flatly. Then I added, And hey, Vanessa, keep the apartment. I'm sure Derek can help with the rent. I heard her voice starting to rise as I shut the door behind me, but I didn't look back. My phone was already vibrating with messages, probably all our so-called friends trying to justify their silence. As I drove away, I did something I hadn't done in a long time. I powered my phone off. And what I felt wasn't rage or heartbreak. It was relief. Because sometimes, Losing everything just shows you what you never really had to begin with. I didn't know exactly where I was headed, but for the first time in a long while, it felt like I was going somewhere that made sense. Update: first off, I want to say thank you. I didn't expect my last post to blow up like that, and all the support means more than I can say. A lot's happened in the past week, and to be honest, I'm still wrapping my head around it all. I've been holed up in this small roadside motel just outside of town. It's nothing fancy, but it's clean and quiet. The guy who runs it, Frank, an older gentleman, cut me a deal when he heard what I was going through. Took $20 off my weekly rate without me even asking. After 2 days of total silence, I turned my phone back on. 32 missed calls. 47 texts. Most from Vanessa. A handful from Tyler and Maya. A few from numbers I didn't recognize. But what really grabbed my attention was the storm brewing on social media. Turns out, Vanessa had been busy. Really busy. Her Instagram stories painted a version of reality I barely recognized. According to her, I was some obsessive, jealous boyfriend who tracked her every move. Her post said I emotionally manipulated her for years, cut her off from her friends, and exploded into some violent tantrum when she finally stood up for herself. Each post was flooded with sympathetic comments, including ones from people I'd considered friends. But the real kicker? She uploaded a teary-eyed video claiming I financially abused her by making her split the bills 50/50 while I supposedly hoarded my money. Which is wild considering she made more than I did and insisted on that setup from day one. Then I got a message from Rachel, a coworker I've known for years. "Hey, you might want to check your email. Something's going around the office." Sure enough, there it was, a company-wide email about creating a safe workplace environment. Thinly veiled but clearly aimed at me. No names mentioned, but the timing wasn't exactly subtle. Maybe I should have spoken up. Shared my side online. Defended myself. But instead I just watched. I was honestly curious, how far was Vanessa willing to go with all of this? Turns out pretty damn far. Yesterday, I stopped by this little coffee shop I used to go to all the time. Figured I'd be safe there since Vanessa always complained about how terrible their coffee was. Well, guess what? I was wrong. The barista, who used to greet me with a smile, looked at me like I'd just tracked mud all over the floor. Later on, I found out Vanessa had become a regular there. Telling anyone within earshot her survivor story over oat milk lattes. But the real twist came later. I'd stopped by a storage unit to grab a few things when I bumped into Sabrina, Vanessa's so-called best friend. She looked jumpy, like just being seen talking to me might get her in trouble. "You need to be careful," she whispered, barely meeting my eyes. "Derek isn't just her boss, his wife? She's connected. Like really connected." Then she leaned in and added, "And Vanessa's been telling her that you're unstable. Dangerous." I asked her, "Why are you telling me this?" Sabrina looked around nervously again. "Because this isn't the first time." She went on to explain that before me, there'd been another guy at their office. Same pattern, Vanessa and Derek pulled the same stunt on him. He vanished from town completely. That one conversation flipped a switch in me. That night I started digging. Legal databases, old social media accounts, any scrap I could find. And sure enough, there he was. Brandon something. The guy was real. His entire digital footprint went dark around the same time Vanessa started at her new job. This morning, I got a call from our old landlord. Turns out Vanessa tried to get my name taken off the lease. Claimed I'd just up and abandoned the place. When that didn't fly, she switched tactics and told him I'd been threatening her. Lucky for me, the guy didn't buy it. His sister had apparently gone through something similar years ago, so he gave me a heads up instead of just kicking me off the lease. But here's where things really took a turn. I got a message request on Instagram from an account I didn't recognize. The profile picture showed a woman in her 40s, dressed to the nines, elegant, like old money vibes. The message? Simple. "We need to talk about my husband and your girlfriend. Coffee tomorrow?" It was signed, Elaine. I'm meeting her in an hour. Something tells me this real man, fantasy Vanessa's been spinning is about to get real messy. The strange thing is, watching Vanessa build this tower of lies, seeing people pick sides based on pure fiction, it's actually been freeing. Every tear she fakes, every post she crafts like a screenplay, just confirms what I already figured out. I'm not losing anything of value. Update 2. Sorry it took me a while to post this. These last 2 weeks have been intense. Meeting with Elaine? Total game changer. Turns out she'd been quietly collecting dirt for months. Not just on Vanessa and her husband, but on a whole toxic pattern inside their company. Remember how Sabrina mentioned that guy who skipped town? He wasn't the only one. Elaine had tracked down 3 similar stories, same routine, different victims, over the last 5 years. Basically, young employees would get lured in, then once someone started asking questions, they were pushed out. But this time, Elaine wasn't staying quiet. She had everything: screenshots, emails, expense reports, even security footage from the company garage. But she wanted one last piece: public exposure. That's where the company's annual party came in. At first, I wasn't planning on showing up. Why would I? But Elaine had other plans. She told me sometimes the best revenge is letting people destroy themselves while everyone's watching. The party was at some upscale hotel downtown. I showed up late, looking sharper than I ever had for anything work-related. The looks I got when I walked in, absolutely priceless. Vanessa nearly dropped her drink. Derek went pale as a ghost. And the best part? I didn't have to say a single damn thing. Maya, already half drunk, stumbled over first. "You've got some nerve showing up here," she slurred loud enough for half the room to hear. "After everything you did to Vanessa." I smiled. Calm. Collected. "Everything I did to her? That's interesting. Do tell." Then, like she was waiting for her cue, Tessa stepped up. My coworker. Quiet, sharp, and apparently a lot more observant than I ever gave her credit for. She'd been collecting her own stash of receipts, screenshots of Vanessa bragging about bagging the boss, in group chats, recordings of her plotting PR spin with Derek. "I think everyone deserves to hear the full story," Tessa said loud and clear. And that's when the dominoes started falling. Elaine made her entrance right on time. She had a tablet in hand and somehow, a projector just happened to start playing a very convenient slideshow: messages, photos, calendar logs. Everything. Vanessa tried to take back control, tried yelling, denying, accusing. But it was like watching a sinking ship throw water at the ocean. Then Tyler chimed in. Good ol'. Bros before hoes. Tyler, until the hoe offered him career connections. He'd been filming everything on his phone, probably planning to show it to Derek later and earn some points. But instead, he caught the full breakdown. "You think you're so clever?" Vanessa screamed at me. "You and that bitter old woman. Trying to destroy what I built. Derek loves me. We're building a life together." That's when Elaine pulled out her trump card. Divorce papers. Already signed, already filed. Turns out Derek had been using the same script on every young employee he got involved with. Vanessa was just the latest cast member. And me? I barely said a word. Just stood there, watching it all collapse in front of everyone. Then Sabrina, quiet all night, finally spoke. She turned to the crowd, her voice shaking. "I helped her," she said. "I helped her ruin that guy before. I can't do it again." By the time midnight hit, the party was pretty much over. Vanessa had stormed out, makeup running down her face like a sad clown. Derek was locked in an office with HR, and all those friends who backed Vanessa without a second thought? They couldn't even meet my eye. On my way out, Elaine caught me by the arm. "Thank you," she said, "for not running." When I got back to the motel, Frank, the owner, was still up watching TV in the office. He saw me walk in and just grinned. "Good night?" he asked. "You could say that," I replied. This morning, my phone started blowing up all over again, but this time, the tone was different. Now it was apologies and long-winded explanations. Messages from people swearing they never really believed Vanessa, or saying they just didn't know what to do. And believe it or not, I even got a message from Brandon, the guy who left town. Apparently, he's been quietly following all of this through shared contacts. And all he said was, "Sometimes karma doesn't need any help, it just needs an audience." Final update. Alright, folks, this is it. The grand finale. And if you've made it this far, grab some popcorn, because things went out with a bang. So, the fallout from that company party? Way bigger than anyone expected. Within 2 days, both Derek and Vanessa were shown the door. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. Turns out Elaine had way more than just some texts and photos. She had the full arsenal. Every single doctored expense report Derek filed to cover those cozy dinners with Vanessa. Every email chain where they schemed to sabotage other employees. Even performance reviews they tampered with to push people out. She handed it all to the company's board of directors. And let me tell you, legal didn't waste a second. They weren't just worried about cheating scandals. They saw a years-long pattern of harassment, abuse of power, and financial fraud. Now both Derek and Vanessa are facing civil lawsuits. But here's where it really gets good. Remember Brandon? The guy Vanessa and Derek steamrolled before I came into the picture? Well, he came back. With receipts. Turns out, before he left town, he documented everything. Every underhanded move they made against him, every false report, every rumor they planted. He just didn't know what to do with it, until now. Thanks to Elaine, he got in touch with a lawyer. And 3 days later, he filed his own lawsuit. Then something incredible happened. Other former employees started coming out of the woodwork. One by one, each with their own stories, their own evidence. It snowballed. What started as a messy office affair turned into a full-blown corporate scandal. Of course, Vanessa tried to jump in front of it. She posted another emotional video online, tears and everything, saying she was just another pawn in Derek's manipulative game. Claimed she was the real victim now, being persecuted. That's when Sabrina finally found her backbone. She uploaded screenshots of private conversations, chats where Vanessa bragged about manipulating people, planned takedowns, and mocked her victims like it was some kind of game. That was the nail in the coffin. Last week, Frank, the guy who runs my motel, called me at work. That girl you warned me about? She's outside. Causing a scene in the parking lot. I didn't rush. Took my sweet time getting back. Found her sitting on the hood of my car, mascara smeared down her cheeks, clinging to a manila envelope like it was her last hope. I've got dirt on everyone, she said, trying to sound intimidating, even though her voice was trembling. If you don't help me stop this, I'll release it all. I laughed. Couldn't help it. Go ahead. Light every bridge on fire. Let's see how far that gets you. She threw the envelope at me. Inside were pages of screenshots, private messages, pictures, stuff she'd collected over the years, her so-called insurance. Her power play. I snapped a photo of every page right in front of her. Then handed the whole envelope right back. Do what you want. But take a good look at where all your past schemes have gotten you. Thing is, people like Vanessa? They can dish it out, but they completely fall apart when you stop playing by their rules. She ripped the envelope to shreds right there in the lot, screaming about how we'd all regret crossing her. And someone recorded the whole meltdown. By that evening, the video was everywhere online. Then came the final blow. Elaine's divorce went through. And she didn't just win, she cleaned house. She got the home, the cars, the assets, and even Derek's golden parachute severance package. That sweet corporate cushion? Gone, eaten up by legal bills. His name? Mud. His reputation? Torched. His career? Let's just say Google isn't doing him any favors these days. As for Vanessa? Last I heard, she packed up and moved in with her parents. Different state. Her social media's gone dark. Radio's silence. The friends who once cheered her on. They're scrambling now. Turns out there's a price for backing the wrong horse. Tyler sent me this long, dramatic apology yesterday. Said he should have had my back. I didn't bother typing a reply. Just sent a screenshot of the messages where he was hyping Vanessa up. He blocked me. Figures. Maya's in damage control mode too. She's worried about what's in those screenshots Vanessa kept, how it might blow back on her career. And you know what? I almost feel bad for her. Almost. As for me? Well, I just signed a lease on a new apartment. Got a promotion at work. It's wild how quickly your life improves when you cut out the poison. Oh, and yeah, I've started seeing someone new. No big declarations. We're taking things slow. Building something real. The right way. And the best revenge? It's not posting receipts. Not plotting takedowns or rubbing it in. It's peace. Moving on. Watching the people who tried to wreck you crash and burn under their own weight. But I won't lie. Watching it all go up in flames? That's been really satisfying. So this is it. No more updates. No more drama. Just a guy getting his life back. Thanks for sticking with me, Reddit. And remember, karma doesn't always need your help. Sometimes you just have to step aside and let people reveal exactly who they are.